Users are individual service accounts that can be tailored to the needs of your employees. A user with voice services activated on their account allows them to utilize a VoIP device, direct dial number, extension number, and personal voicemail with email notifications, as well as a number of additional features packed in the service. To access users, log into your control panel and click the icon for Voice Services. Alternatively, you can access voice services from anywhere on the control panel by clicking Services, then clicking Voice Services. While you can access the same user list by clicking Users in the top navigation, utilizing the Manage Users link from your Voice Services control panel will automatically assign voice services to your newly created users. Click Manage Users to continue. To create a new user, click on the Create User button. You will notice there's two options for creating a new user: Create New User and Copy from Existing User. Copy from Existing User can be used to create a new user with the same exact enabled services that were on the former user, like voice services and Exchange email. Click Create New User to begin. On the next screen, start by selecting the services that your new user should have access to, like SecuriSync and AnyMeeting. Since we created this user from the Voice Services portal, we can see Hosted PBX is already checked. You will also need to fill out some identifying information to create the user account, such as a display name, their company email address, and a password. You can click Generate Password if you'd like the system to automatically create a strong password. If you would like to add more than one user, you can click the Add Another User link and again select a service and add their identifying information. You have the option of sending an email containing the user login and password to a different email recipient. By default, this will use the primary email address of the administrator creating the user. Finally, click Create. You will be returned to the user list and should see your new user created and the Hosted PBX service enabled. There are still some additional settings to configure before the user is ready to use their voice services. Click on the employee's display name to enter the user's configuration settings. On the User Info tab, you have access to general employee information and settings for their user account in the control panel. Clicking their display name or the Edit User Info link will open their general employee information. All fields in this form, with the exception of display name, are optional. Fill out the form with as much information as you like, including their first and last name, company, job title, and initials. You also have the ability to assign a direct manager, selecting a user already established in Control Panel. Click Select from Address Book, then click the radio button next to the user you wish to assign, and click Select. You will see the display name of the user you selected next to Direct Manager. You can finish editing your user's information by adding their address, designating the user to a department, and adding contact numbers or notes. Finally, you can add an alternative email address or mobile phone number for additional assistance with resetting the account password. Once you're satisfied with the settings, click Save Changes to commit the updates to the user. You can update the user's email address by clicking the current address under their display name. If the user's password needs to be reset, you can easily change it for them by clicking Reset Password. Edit User Password Settings allows you to change some administration settings regarding how your user's password functions. You can disable the user's ability to change the account password, or force the user to change their password at next login. Set User Permissions lets you manage the user's access to different services and features. You can set service access levels to Full Control, Read Only, or No Access. Disable User will revoke all of the user's access to the control panel and services, including accessing their email and using their voice service devices. It's important to note that even though the user is disabled, any charged services will continue to be billed to the account. To access the voice services configurations for this user, Click on the Hosted PBX tab to the left. On the General tab, you can see the general voice settings for this user. Since this user was just created, you will see a notification at the top that reminds you that this user's voice services are not active. To activate the user's voice services, click on Assign Phone Number, select a number from your available pool, and click Assign. A confirmation prompt will appear that advises any prorated fees to be collected at the time of activation and the monthly recurring charge for this user. Click Confirm to acknowledge the charges and assign the phone number. Extension numbers can be changed at any time, but phones assigned to the user may need to be restarted for the change to display properly. You can adjust call timeout to set how long a call should ring to the user before timing out to voicemail. You can enable Find Me Follow Me settings by clicking the Not Set link. You can enable up to 3 additional numbers or send calls to another user or service with your preferred ringing order. Sequentially, ringing through each number listed below in order, or simultaneously ring all numbers at the same time with a custom-defined ring timeout. The outbound caller ID for this user can be changed to display a different number. By default, the outbound caller ID is set to the user's direct dial number. The number can be set to any number currently in use by a user, resource, or auto attendant, or can manually be entered below. The last option allows you to block the outbound caller ID for calls made from this user. Make sure you click Save Changes to confirm changes to this feature. If you need to change the physical location of the user, you can select any of your qualified locations already stored. You may also want to adjust the user's time zone to match that of their location. If your user no longer needs voice services on their account, you can click Disable Voice Services to deactivate the service. This will unassign any hardware and phone numbers associated with the user, as well as remove any monthly recurring charges associated with the voice services account. Clicking the Voicemail tab allows you to configure voicemail options and notifications for the user. The voicemail to email setting can be changed at any time, but by default, it is the user's email address. Greeting is the user's outbound voicemail message. You can upload a new greeting by clicking the arrow and clicking Upload New File. Choose the file on your PC and assign it a name. You should also carefully read and checkmark the acknowledgement at the bottom, and then click the Upload button to finish. You can manually change the user's voicemail access PIN by clicking Reset. Some additional options below are automatically deleting the user's voicemail messages after 90 days, and voicemail transcription. Transcription is enabled and included in your notification email by default. The notification settings allow the user to further configure how notifications are received and how voicemail messages reside in the voicemail box. You or the user can set these options to your requirements. The Devices tab allows you to see any devices currently assigned and allows you to assign a new device. Click Assign New to open the assignment option. Select an available device you'd like to assign to this user. All unassigned devices will be available for selection in the drop-down list. Make sure the E911 address is current for the device, and confirm you've read the E911 policy and limitations. Click Assign Device when you're finished. When you return to the Device tab, you will see the assigned device ready to be used by the user. You can click Edit to go back to the assignment options and assign a different device, or click Unassign if you wish to remove the device from the user. Once you're finished configuring your user, you can click To Users in the upper left to return to your user list.